Hey everybody, welcome back to the 5-Minute English Teacher, where today we're breaking down the idea of using evidence. It's one of my students' least favorite things, but it's super important. How to find and add examples that support your ideas. Your teachers from middle school on are always going to ask you to use evidence, so let's figure out how to do this best. So first things first, what is evidence? If your teacher asks you to use evidence in your short response writing, what is it? Well, it's facts, quotes, or specific details from the text or source that help to prove your point. Now, this could be from an article that you read, it could come from a short story, but it needs to be facts, quotes, and details from the text, and here's the specific point. It needs to prove your point. Don't just pull random stuff. You want to have evidence that proves your point. So, why do you want to use evidence? Well, number one, it shows that you understand the topic. If you just write your short response without any evidence, number one, it's telling your teacher that you didn't read the source that was assigned. You just went off the top of your head. Now, you might come up with an interesting kind of short response, but your teacher is asking you to cite evidence to prove that you know what you're talking about. Number two, it makes your answer stronger and more believable because, like I said, it makes you more credible because you've read the source that your teacher has asked and you've used that to bolster your own opinion. And number three, here's probably the most college-y type answer. It's engaging with others, mainly scholars and thinkers, in a conversation that's been ongoing. So you just read a source, a text that someone else has written, someone else has thought about. You using evidence engages with that person, like a conversation. You're citing someone else, like pretend you're at a dinner party or a party, and someone else is having a conversation over there in the corner, and you pick up on that conversation, and you jump into the conversation by citing what they've said and then adding to it. That's kind of what evidence does. You engage with others, scholars and thinkers, in an ongoing conversation. So that's why we use evidence. So how do you find good evidence? Well, it first starts by looking back at the text or the prompt, specifically the prompt. In that previous lecture, we talked about the importance of breaking down the prompt. So if your teacher gives you a question or a prompt, you really want to ask yourself, what is it that my teacher is asking me to find and explain? And that's what you want to use to help you search for evidence. Because the passage that you're reading is probably really long, you want to be able to narrow down and focus on what the prompt is asking you when you search for evidence. Then, choose examples that clearly connect to the topic sentence that you want to write. Again, everything needs to be connected, so you shouldn't just be searching for evidence that's random. You want evidence that connects to your topic sentence or main idea. Then, one key thing, consider repeated words and phrases or ideas that the author says over and over again, because your teacher is probably asking you something about the author's main idea. So, consider repeated words and phrases. Last, consider the author's main point, agenda, or argument. What is it that the author feels, or what is it the author wants you to know or communicate about this specific topic? Those will be clues as to how you can find good evidence. Next, this is key. As you become older and a scholar in middle school, high school, and beyond, you need to introduce evidence well. So how do you do that? You want to not just drop it in. You don't want to just drop a quote because that looks weird and it's kind of out of context. So use these simple sentence starters. You might say, for example, and then put your quote. That kind of leads in to what you want to say and using the quote more effectively. You might also say, the text says, quote. So don't just drop your quote in there. Make sure you ease into it with these introductory phrases. Include the exact details, summary, and page number as well when you insert a direct quote. So you want to cite your evidence so you're not committing plagiarism. So let me give an example. Pretend on the left, this is the prompt that your teacher gives you. Animals migrate to find food. So maybe the teacher asks you the question, why do animals migrate? You came up with the topic sentence, animals migrate to find food. And here's the evidence that you found. During the winter, many birds fly south to warmer areas where food is available. So you've got your topic sentence, now you have your evidence. So let's see, how does it all tie together if you use those sentence starters I showed you. Animals migrate to find food. Evidence to suggest this comes from paragraph 3 when the author says, during winter, many birds fly south to warmer areas where food is available. So I didn't just drop that quote in there. I used quotation marks, but I led into it easily with that good sentence starter. So here's your quick tip for the day. Always connect evidence to your main idea. Don't just drop it in. You don't want to just drop in random evidence. It all needs to connect to the main idea. So, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you liked this video. If you did, push that like button, subscribe. Teachers, if you want this lecture as well as notes to go with it for your students, visit my TPT store link down in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye.